This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association. Your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers, right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning broadcast team of Dustin Hoffman and Riley Smith. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines.
Good day and welcome to another episode of Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Averie Haskell. Today is Friday, August 12th, 2022. We're so glad you could join us. In today's episode, I talk with Alyson Fendrick from Midwest Dairy about their new fair food this year. But first, let's run down the markets.
It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net.
We are at the end of another trading day here with Jacob Burks from agmarket.net. Jacob, how those markets turn out today?
There was a lot of stuff going on in today's report. 11 o'clock we came out with USDA's WASDE report. Really not a lot of surprise here in the corn market. Let's start with the corn. Came out, lowered the yield down from the July estimate. We went from 177 in July down to 175.4. I think the market was realistically expecting a little bit more. And as the days traded on here today, I think they're still expecting some of that to be cut back. So production-wise, we put us just slightly lower than where we were at last month, and 81.8 harvested acres. Now that was something a lot of guys thought could be a lot different. Realistically, we took away about 100,000 acres, most of that from up around Minnesota. Soybean market, same type of story, 51.9 bushels. They actually raised the yield. That was very negative, reflected in the bean market for most of the day. Put a lot of pressure on it. Ended up coming out with 87.2 harvested acres. That's down about 300,000 acres there. I think the market was probably expecting a little bit more acres possibly in the beans as the delays were up there planted. So that was kind of a mixed bag of emotions there. When it was all said and done, that was the big things on the report. A couple of surprises. Wheat market was pretty friendly in what they came out with on the global numbers. So all in all, the market digested that pretty quick. We pushed all the markets down significantly, down 10 cents after the report in the corn, down about 25 in the soybeans, and come noon we started trading the weather again. And I think there's just a lot of discussion, a lot of questions about how we got pollinated, and we pushed this thing 11, 12 cents higher here going into the close.
All right. Now, with that WASDE report, what do you expect going forward?
There's been a lot of discussion about that, here today, right after the report, and it's still talking about the weather. It's still talking about the potential of rains coming through this week, really. To help start finishing some of that the pollinated corn that did get pollinated correctly. Your beans across most of the western corn belt are really struggling right now, and they really need a rain. And we're not forecasted to get a whole bunch, but there's some very pivotal rains that could help out a lot. So at this point right now, you're looking if you go state by state, we're looking at Iowa being at 205 bushel per acre average. That's going to be a stretch. Everybody that we've talked to, you got a very segregated line there, western to eastern part of the Iowa that's really struggling in the south and the west due to dryness. So I think we're going to closely watch how these rain events come across Nebraska and Iowa here in the next week or so. But I think the eastern part of the Corn Belt has a decent chance to set some records. If you just roll through all the states and look at what we took last year to get that record yield, we had to set some major records across several states. Right now, you're not looking at that. You're looking at very few states that have a projected increase over last year's yield. And some of the major I states are just pretty stagnant right now with a lot of questions if they're going to reach what we're estimating right now.
All right. Now, what did things look like on the livestock side of things?
Well, I think first of all, it's actually relatively quiet from what with the volatility that we saw in the grain markets. Your hog market sold off in the front months just a little bit. Cutouts were relatively quiet. Cash market in the cattle, we've seen that cash market come up significantly across your Kansas and your Nebraskas and your northern part of the area, and we were trading about par with the August fat cattle futures market. So right now we're down about 30 or 40 cents here at the close of the week in the live cattle. We did take some pressure here in the feeder cattle with the move up in the corn market. That's been a pretty closely related market between the corn and the feeder cattle here the last 2 weeks. And so I think right now you're $1.20 lower at the close, 183.37 in the feeder cattle. So as far as the volatility that we saw in the grains, did not reflect that as much in the cattle. I think the things that we got to watch for in the cattle market is we're getting our box beef has stayed pretty stagnant, but we're pretty high, and we're continuing to watch some of these economic factors going forward.
Awesome. Now, if folks want to get in touch with you at agmarket.net, how do they do so?
Well, I am not down at the Iowa State Fair like you guys are eating deep fried Oreos, but you can catch me here, 608-384-5438, or just take a look us up there on agmarket.net. Sign up for a 30-day free trial. We'd love to chat with you.
At the close, September corn up 10.5 at 639 3/4. December corn up 14.5 at 642 1/4. August soybeans down 40 1/4 at 1669 1/4. November soybeans up 5 3/4 at 1454 1/4. Soybean meal up 8.20 at 464.70. Soybean oil down 23 at 69.53. Chicago wheat down 4 3/4 at 806 even. Minneapolis spring wheat down 2 1/4 at 919 1/2. Kansas City hard red wheat unchanged at 889 1/4. September oats up 3.5 at 458 1/4. On the Merc, August live cattle down 37 at 140.22. August feeder cattle down 32 at 179.62. August lean hogs down 67 at 121.72. October pork cutout down 112 at 109.97. August class 3 milk down 1 cent at 20.14. And that's been a check of our ag market recap. Let's go ahead and hear from our sponsors, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soy Checkoff. When we come back, I talk with Alyson Fendrick of Midwest Dairy about their new fair food. This is Ag Matters PM.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
Welcome back to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Averie Haskell. Yesterday we had the chance to talk with Alyson Fendrick of Midwest Dairy about their new fair food this year. We are here the first day at the Iowa State Fair with Alyson Fendrick from Midwest Dairy. Alyson, why don't you tell me a little bit about what Midwest Dairy is involved in at the State Fair?
Yeah, we've got a lot going on. We're so excited for the first day. Kicking off, obviously, we've got the dairy shows going on right now. So today and tomorrow are big dairy days. So if you want to see any of the great dairy breeds here, make sure you show up Thursday and Friday at the fair. We've also got the Boulevard of the Breeds where you can see all of the dairy breeds, or most of them. I think maybe one's missing. So we have that going on the entire time of the fair. A couple other activities that we're involved in. We're sponsoring the Farm to Fair meal, which is happening next week, Thursday. That was a ticketed event. So if you were lucky enough to get to participate in that, we'll have some dairy farmers there too, as well as Fair After Dark, which is next Friday as well. And we will have, we'll be there, but it's also one of those ticketed after hours events. So if there's still some available, people can grab tickets to come see that, but they're gonna be able to come up close and personal with the small animals as well as interact with all of the commodities too. So those are two of our bigger consumer-facing events, but also, of course, we have the Butter Cow. Cannot forget about the Butter Cow. Sarah did a wonderful job this year, so very excited about that, as well as our 2 ice cream booth locations. So we're here at our 1 location, which is over by the cattle barn. This is our main dairy barn location, and then we also have our location in the ag building where you can try great dairy treats too. So lots going on. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. I know too there's going to be some milking demonstrations, as well as we help support support the IMAC, which is the I Milked a Cow demonstrations in the cattle barn too. So if you've never done that at the fair, it's a great experience, especially for younger kiddos. They love doing that. It's not something you get to do every day, so it's a great opportunity to participate at the fair.
Awesome. Sounds like you are busy,
Yes.
probably running around like a chicken with your head cut off
Always.
a little bit. Yes. So what do you do to prepare for the fair? I know a lot of people don't know the background that comes in or all the work that's put in before the fair. They just see you at the fair.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about what that is like.
Yeah, so actually fair planning starts clear back in March or April. So it's months in advance. We start having our planning meetings then with all of our teams. We get our marketing plans together. One thing that we do that really helps elevate all of the fair is we meet together as all commodities. So the commodity groups actually all get together and have a great discussion about what we can do together to make sure those consumers have a great experience throughout all the Iowa commodities, which is awesome. And just really fun collaboration so that we all work together and provide a great experience.
Awesome. Now, I know that you have a new fair food this year, and it is actually right here. Very generous to give it to me before
you have
our interview.
to try it.
Yes, of course. I will try it definitely at the end. But tell me a little bit about what is in this cup.
Yeah, so we've got obviously delicious vanilla ice cream, and then we partnered with the Girl Scouts of Greater Des Moines this year to create this concoction, but it's got Girl Scout Thin Mint cookies. So it's actually the only place this summer you can get a Thin Mint cookie. So you got to take advantage of it when you can.
Right.
So we've got layers of cookie, ice cream, and then of course chocolate syrup, because why not? Add a little bit more fun to the cup.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, it looks very delicious. I am very excited to try this. Actually, we're
You got to give it a go.
That is top tier. That was very delicious. Well, Alyson, thank you so much for interviewing with us, and I wish you the best of luck with the rest of fair. I know it's only the first day, so we got a lot to go.
Got a long way to go.
Yes, but I thank you.
Thank you.
That again was Alyson Fendrick of Midwest Dairy. Let's go ahead and take a look at that ag weather outlook. Well, today has been another gorgeous day here at the State Fair. It has been breezy, pretty cloudy, and the sun is starting to poke through the clouds, as you can see probably in this video. But as we go into the weekend, it is supposed to be a little bit warmer, so let's go ahead and take a look at what the National Weather Service has in store for the next 24 hours. As you can see here for the National Weather Service, it's a nice and warm day for the Iowa State Fair. Today it's sunny and hot in the central and western parts of the state, but it's cooler in the northeast where they have a slight chance for rain. Temps range from the low 70s to low 90s. Tonight, variably cloudy skies. Lows overnight should range from the low 50s to low 70s. Tomorrow, mostly sunny skies and hot to the south and west with cooler conditions in the east. Highs will be in the mid 80s to upper 90s. Looking at the affiliate weather map for tomorrow, Cherokee will be sunny skies and a high of 89. Shenandoah sunny and a high around 98. Des Moines sunny and hot with a high of 98. Albia mostly sunny and 96. Waterloo sunny and 90. And Clinton is looking to be mostly sunny with a high of 85. For more detailed forecasts, tune in to your local Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network affiliate. And that has been a check of our weather outlook, and that also brings us to the end of another episode of Ag Matters PM. You can find all of our content at iowaagnet.com. You can also follow us on our social media at Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. You can find all of our video content on our YouTube channel, and don't forget to subscribe to our twice daily free podcast on Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and Podbeam. From the Iowa State Fair, I'm Averie Haskell. For Riley Smith, Mark Magnuson, and Dustin Huffman, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.